Hello students, I'm Himani Sharma, your educator. I hope you all are well and are studying as you all should be. So in this particular video, I have brought a new concept for you when the unit of research aptitude is concerned. So what are we going to talk about in today's video? We are going to talk about epistemology and the various sources of knowledge. Now basically, epistemology is something which is a branch that deals with the study of knowledge, the study of knowing things. You need to know that why certain things do exist. Is there any reason because of that? Are there any different sources from where we are acquiring the knowledge? So if you are having such questions in mind, you are at the right place because we are going to deal with such questions and such concepts in this particular video, right? So what and how and why do we know things? We can know things if we are having a conversation with someone. We can know things if we are watching something. We can know things if we are gaining some sort of insight on anything from a teacher, from our mentor, so on and so forth. So this branch of knowing things, first of all, talking about the origin of the word, it is derived from the word episteme. Episteme in itself means something which is related to knowledge. It means knowledge literally if we try to translate it. So episteme का मतलब होता है knowledge, ज्ञान. And how do you acquire the knowledge? If someone is pinching me right now, let's just say I can acquire the knowledge because my sensory organs are working. My skin is making me think that yes, of course, somebody pinched you, right? So there are different sources of knowing things and we are going to discuss the same in this video. So epistemology is an attempt to understand what it was to know, how knowledge, unlike mere true opinion, is good for the knower. This is what the epistemologists are also concerned with कि आपको knowledge मिल कहाँ से रही है, what are the sources और आप knowledge को पा कहाँ से सकते हो, right? So there are two serious questions when a person who is trying to think, using this particular epistemological thinking, उनके mind में two questions can come. Number one is, how can we determine which facts are true? If I am concerned with something, if I acquire something, if I come across something, how do I know that these facts are the ones which I should be believing in? And are they true or not? How can we determine which facts are important? Now, you would be having factual information from each and every part of your life, may or may not be. But how do you know कि इनमें से ये factual information important है? अगर if somebody is pinching me, so I need to know this thing that why, how important was that? Because I was getting hurt. This fact is important rather than some random fact which I could have read somewhere, which has nothing to do with me, the way I think, the way I know things, right? So these two questions do pop up in a person's mind. So there are four basic sources about which we are going to talk about. What are those four sources? Number one is senses, authority, reason and intuition. Senses, possibly the most important because we have different senses and आंखों से देख के हम पता लगा सकते हैं चीजों को. We read things, we come across different situations in life. So through sensory organs, we are knowing things, and epistemology is all about knowing things only. Through the authority, as I am making you guys aware about this particular topic or the other topics in some other videos, you guys are knowing things from a source of authority. And here authority not in the power wala sense, but I'm trying to say that of course there's a teacher-student relationship where teacher holds more authority. Or you might be having some other source of authority, your mother. ठीक है? Second source ये हो गया. Third is reason. Using your scientific rational mind की thinking. You can know things that yes, of course, if I am, trying to add 2 and 2, it's going to give me 4 only, right? So that is backed up by the science. Then we have intuition. Anything that you feel in your gut. You know that you might not be appearing for the examination because you know that you are underprepared, right? So that is something that is related to your intuition, your gut feeling that you're feeling, right? So let's just delve deep into all these four sources with the usage of different examples. Number one is the senses. Any information that you gain through the taste. If I am eating two types of dishes, दो तरीके की dishes है मेरे सामने, एक है let's just say ravioli, the other one is red sauce pasta. And I, in my personal opinion, in my personal life, I like eating pasta more than ravioli. ठीक है? So the taste that I am getting, but what if one day I eat ravioli and I like it more than the pasta? That is my taste which is letting me know that हाँ जी हिमानी आपको ravioli आज पसंद आई है. You have gained that knowledge कि यहाँ की ravioli is nice. Through vision, through our eyes, I am looking at two dishes, both of the two dishes, and I am seeing the presentation. I am seeing which of both the two dishes look more appealing to my vision, more appealing to my eyes. That's also I am knowing things. हाँ, maybe ये वाली ज़्यादा अच्छी दिख रही है. Maybe this one would be more tasty. Through touch, if someone, as I already told you, through the pinch and all, I get the information. I know things. Then smell, you know that when you smell some pungent thing in your room, you try to use the air freshener because you gained the knowledge that the room is having, you know, the humid smell, so on and so forth. Then hearing. After hearing some things, you are knowing. Right now, you are studying about epistemology. You are hearing and watching this video, which is helping you all to acquire the knowledge which is entirely related to epistemology. So, this is number one source. So, यहाँ पे empirical हो जाती है where empiricists do believe in the sensory experiences. यहाँ पे whatever you are gaining, whatever you are observing, whatever you are knowing is through the empirical knowledge that you are gaining. That is through your own senses. Then the second source is the source of authority, where anyone in the position of authority, could be law, could be your mother, could be anyone on the platform. Let's just say if you are watching some talk show, वहां के एंकर जो हैं वो आपके फेवरेट हैं. He or she is your idol. So you, whatever he or she will do, you will also start doing the same thing in your life because you are idealizing that source of authority. Other people are continual sources of information. Such information is always a second-hand information, third or fourth or nth hand. It's all hearsay, and the farther it is removed from our personal experience, the more caution we must exercise before accepting any fact claim. Which means that even if somebody is trying to, अगर आपका idol ही आपको गलत चीजें सिखा रहा है, you need to know the differentiation between right and wrong. बचपन से our mothers tell us that telling a lie is a bad thing, right? So you have this thing in your mind, but what if she says that telling a lie is not a bad thing? You need to make sure by other people as well, right? So anything and everything that you gain from the source of authority, like you might have a king in your kingdom, और आप उनके बनाए हुए laws के ऊपर you are working. A teacher scolding a child because he or she knows that this child needed scolding because he had, scored less or maybe was absent for too long. And sometimes here is this theory जो Skinner ने दी थी reinforcement की. So punishment is also reinforcement, which is trying to tell the child that yes, of course, if you are punished, you need to improvise in certain fields, right? So here I have tried to insert a meme. When your boss asks you to do one last thing at Friday at 5 p.m. and you reply with my pleasure, because that question is coming up from your boss, your authority, and you cannot say no to that. So you reply, yes, I will do that, even if you don't want to. Then we have the next source, that is the reason, where you are going to use your logical thinking. You are using your scientific thinking. Reasoning might be defined as the process of using known facts to arrive at new facts. If I know certain things, if I am eating one type of Maggi, that is plain Maggi, and the next time I see some recipe on YouTube or Instagram Reels where they are putting onions, where they are putting, veggies and all and doing all the tadka and all and then making the Maggi, that is something which I acquired through a logical process. that too from some source of information. But through my reasoned ability, I created it in my home, I cooked it, and then I tasted and I find it to be good. So from the same old pattern of Maggie, I changed it to a new fact and I created a new sort of Maggie, which I came across through some source and all, right? In this way, reason can help us arrive at new facts or new knowledge, but only as long as the original facts are correct. If the Maggi that I'm using is expired, I'm not going to taste the same, for even the tadka or the plain Maggi. So the original facts need to be really very clearly defined and they need to be correct and should be reliable. Moving forward, we always have to choose between our heart and our mind. But here, reasoning ability mein, you will have to choose your mind and make it have that much strength and power to choose and go beyond your emotional senses, right? On the other hand, I have tried to give you an image of a burger pizza here, which is by Domino's. So basically what they have done is they have created something new out of the old cliched burgers and pizzas. They have amalgamated both the concepts and created this, right? So reaching to a new logical understanding. Now reasoning could be of two types. One is a deductive or deduction. The second is induction. इसको याद कैसे रखना है? Deductive में we deduce things, we decrease things. So here usually it is used in maths. And certain the two, it involves drawing out valid conclusions. In deductive reasoning, always and always we will have the theory established. हमारे पास चीजें होंगी, theorems जैसे मैंने बात करी होगी कि videos में, right? We will have the theories etc. established already. But what we are going to move forward with is we are going to test it. So in deduction, we will test. Just see the example. All cats are animals. We know this theory established कि सारी cats जो हैं वो animals ही होती हैं. It is not a flower. Jack is a cat, so Jack is an animal. So from general to particular is always deduction or deductive reasoning, because from all I am deducing to a particular point, right? That is what is known as deductive reasoning. Second type is inductive reasoning or induction. यहाँ पे I for induction and I for increase. Here we are going to move from particular to general. We are going to establish a theory here. This particular reasoning is going to establish something new. Usually used in science, involves jumping from some things you have observed to make universal statements. So from some things to universally generalized things you are going to move. Look at the example here. I drop this pencil and it falls. So it is likely that all the dropped pencils will fall. यहाँ मैं कुछ भी फेंकूंगी, it will fall because of the fact that the theory is already established. I have seen, I have observed the same thing. Then we have the last source of information in epistemology, that is known as intuition. So in the beginning of the slides, I already told you that intuition is something which is much and more related to your gut feeling. Correct? So the word intuition has connotation to mystical and unscientific. But when carefully defined, it can be considered a source of knowledge, because at time your intuition turns out to be true. You feel that you are not going, you are tired, you feel like you are going to be unwell tomorrow, and your intuition turns out to be the same. You are not well tomorrow, you are sick, etc. So that is something you are feeling in your gut and all. Refers to insight or bits of knowledge which suddenly pop into your consciousness and you can believe or cannot believe in that. Sometimes it seems to be a feeling. Most of the times it's feeling rather than facts. In intuition, feelings ज़्यादा होती हैं, overpower कर लेती हैं facts को, लेकिन still from the feelings always as well, we are gaining some sort of information only, right? So here, if you are, here I have provided an image here. Maybe the guy has done something wrong. That's why the girl is looking at him, because she had the intuition that something is wrong here. Trust your gut is what we really understand by intuition, right? There are other sources as well, such as supernatural revelation, which is not scientific, but वहां से भी हमें कई चीजें देखने के लिए मिलती हैं. कुछ चमत्कार हो गया, miracles हो गए, right? Your instinct, Racial memory or the collective unconscious, which is an idea of Carl Jung. He says that maybe even in the entire universe, we all are bound with the collective unconscious. We all have the same sort of thinking somewhere or the other, right? We have cultural memories that we all can inherit and share without actually experiencing the thing that caused the memory in the first place. तो इसी वजह से हमारे पास जो जितनी भी unconscious है वो collective है. Extra sensory perception, the sixth sense and all. Anamnesis, that is recollection of the remembrance from a past life. If you think that yes, I was a Raja in the past life, this is the recollection and you are gaining some sort of knowledge. Spiritualism and the occult, such as Ouija boards. People used to use those Ouija boards to, summon the spirits of the good and the bad, right? So those things, tarot card, etc. ये सारे occult या spiritualism में आ जाते हैं, लेकिन इनसे भी कई लोग horoscopes, tarot card से दिखाते हैं, right? So वहां से भी people are trying to gain knowledge about their own lives, correct? So next thing, which is something which goes along with epistemology, is ontology, but it is somewhere or the other different from epistemology. How? Let's just look at the definition. Ontology is concerned with what is true or real and the nature of reality. Why are things happening? The existence here is the mere question. But in epistemology, the nature of knowledge and how to gain knowledge is questioned. Correct? यहाँ पे क्वेश्चंस क्या पूछ सकते हो? ऑन्टोलॉजी का मतलब ही ये है एग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ बीइंग कुछ भी चीजें जो हो रही हैं, व्हाट आर द रीजंस, व्हाट इज एग्जिस्टेंस, व्हाट इज द नेचर ऑफ एग्जिस्टेंस, व्हाई इज दिस वर्ल्ड. सो सारी एग्जिस्टेंस के बारे में क्वेश्चन करना इज ऑन्टोलॉजी. ऑन द अदर हैंड, व्हाट डू यू नो, how do you know it, the sources of knowing things, वो epistemology हो जाता है. I hope things are clear now, where we in this particular video have tried to talk about epistemology and various sources of knowledge which come along with that. In some other video, I'll bring a new concept. Till then, you all keep on studying. Thank you so much for being a patient listener. Happy, have a good day. Thank you so much.